You're muted.
Okay. Now can you hear me?
Yeah, and you had wanted to review because the last time we didn't record.
I see. Okay, good morning everyone then.
Oh, sorry.
Geshe, good morning. Happy to see you.
Okay. Okay, then I'm going to briefly review from 20th, 18, yeah, I think 20th, 21st. Okay, let's see. So still we are describing childish, who is the childish, and then what the point is explained that the behavior of childish and thought of childish, because it's teaching us we shouldn't attach to anyone, whoever they're close or far, as well as they are childish, that not benefit you for develop your concentration, instead of developing that cause disturbing to you, obscure to you. That's the main point saying, right? Okay, so let's see. Again, continues explain the behavior and thoughts of childish. Although I may have much material wealth, be famous and well spoken of, whatever fame, yeah, I think, yeah. Okay, so not really sure here. This takes time.
No, there's some kind of bug in this release. If you take it off,
Yeah, I see. No. Okay, now I can request them. Please, can you? I can mute from here, right?
If you look at the top row, you can scroll and you can see who's
here, okay. I got it. I got it now. Sorry. Has a little bit noise on that. Okay. Yeah. And then be famous and well spoken of, whatever fame and renown I have amassed has no power to accompany me after death. So then last time I just said, not just only the after death, even we are alive, this is not really 100% reliable. Of course, the mutual, and then some are the useful in our daily life to survive, but it's not the 100% reliable. So therefore, you shouldn't focus your life only to collect it, the material or famous and so on, so on. It's not just for only that, because so far we are thinking that my life is for making relation with others. Then my life is collected more wealth, materials, and my life is save and protect our own reputations. That's how we so far we think. And then now the Shantideva or the Buddhism Dharma teaching saying these are not the reliable. So therefore, you shouldn't too much focus on that. If you want to focus, you can focus only for surviving life, for getting better practice, your practice, or you become like a better practitioner. So therefore, it's not only that, even the life not really reliable. So, and then So we try to save our reputation. We collected wealth and so on for happiness. And then this sometime exactly the cause which we collected turn into the cause for suffering instead of bringing happiness. Famous sometimes is suffering. The many famous cannot go in the street like openly. They need a lot of secure, a lot of protections. So very uncomfortable or inconvenience going in the public, right? The famous are. So therefore, it is a kind of suffering. It's not independent. So therefore, the famous, yes, sometimes brings you happiness, sometimes brings you suffering, because this is not always the cause for happiness. The wealth is not the always cause for happiness, right? So therefore, the whatever we are trying to collect it for happiness, sometimes it's turned into the cause for suffering. Therefore, it's not 100% reliable that as the cause of happiness. So therefore, of course, it's after that, then nothing can carry. It's only the carry that which you collected karma for protecting and saving all these things. So as you have become famous, how much you have to do negative actions, how many times you have to do lie and so on. So therefore, that once you comes to death comes, that only the leftover that you lied, it's karma of lying, karma of harsh words, right? Karma of bad intentions, karmas of all this like stealing, sexual misconduct, all these things that only you carried, and all other things which you have those negative karma for what, all these things you left over, like you are living on that, right? So you cannot carry it. So that's the things. And then next, if there is someone who despises me, yeah, also there's last time I mentioned it, this is very useful in our daily life, as we are always happy with having compliment or seeking those again and again, and also we're too much like focusing on our reputation, then automatically compliment is very important for us. So therefore, when someone despises to you, as you are very much focusing on having good compliment or praise to you, then someone despises to you in front of you, then it's so you feel that all worlds are criticizing me, all worlds are like blaming me. So that much you will suffer, right? So therefore, it's teaching us to how to make it balance. Someone who despises me, what pleasure can I have being praised? Yes. Why I need to be too much attached on someone praised to me? And then if someone praising me, then what displeasure can I have in being despised? So the point is, you know who you are, you know what your thoughts, you know what your behaviors. So therefore, this is the main you have to accept or not accept based on what you are, who you are. You know, if you are very qualified, then you can be rejoiced when someone complimented. If you are not really qualified, if someone despised, why you have angry? You are not qualified, that accept it. Right? So therefore saying, because as you are a quality, someone sees someone sees your good quality, someone sees your bad quality. Who sees your bad quality, that despises to you. Who sees your good quality, they compliment to you. It means we have a both, bad quality and good quality. Then why too much happier that someone compliment to me because I have a bad quality? And why too much despise, right? So, and then, yeah, this is nothing that someone criticized you. Do not think that all are criticizing me. When you hear some kind of praising and compliment, don't think all walls complimenting to you. It's very not true. It's not true, right? So all walls are not complimenting to you. Some are, yes, that's true. But some are SM, the despise to you, not the whole world. So make it balanced when you have, once you have attached, that make it balanced. Once you have like a mental suffering, disappointment, or so on, then you also think that's makes your balance. Okay, and then as you are the who is childish, as you become a childish, then you might be fall on one side, is too much attached on having complimenting, and then automatically cause you have very anger if someone criticizes to you, because you are too much attaching on complimenting, right? So, and you are not different than other childish. So this is also cause for disturbing you to any practice, especially disconnected here with concentration, but any practice. Okay, so the next, they scorn those who have no material gain and say bad things about those who do. And how can they who are by nature so hard to get along with? Every deserve any pleasure, all right? Every drive, any pleasures from me. So whatever you do, right? Whatever you do, the most of the time, someone there always seeing as negative. Last time I mentioned it, even you do your meditations or you cultivate compassion, but someone says it's negative. Once you have a very like you are wealthy, someone says about when you are wealthy, someone says about when you are poor. Same, right? Both are, like I say, we look at the negative way to poor people who do not have a wealth. They say, oh, they are having poor because they not do good actions, they're not collected good karma, now they are suffering. If someone have a good wealth, wealthy, then again, there was, oh, they collected all this material and wealth by negative way or wrong livelihood or so on and so on. Then nothing to say good things to us, right? So therefore, not let people change to you. Let Dharma change to you. That's better way to do it. If you are letting people change to you, then I give you last example, that donkey and that one family. Finally they carry donkey. So because like each time they're listening what people say, and you follow up, you're following it. So then if you just follow what people said, you gain nothing in finally, right? So many different people, many different perspective that says their own based on their perspective. Then one thing someone says good, one thing someone says bad, someone sees as bad. What is good and bad then? So therefore, not let change you by the people talk, right? So let change you by the Dharma. That will be more reliable, right? Because Buddha Dharma only, all this speech comes by the compassion intention, right? So the compassion intentions will be really benefited to us. So The worldly, based on mental reflections, someone says based on jealousy, someone says to you something based on anger, attachment, then why you should listen on that? Because their intention is associated with one of inflections. And the main point you can say that in their intention is very much associated with the ignorance. So that it's not really good wisdom, right? So therefore, why you should follow, whatever people says it. But it means not that you are rejected what people said it. You think it's take it, open your mind and take it to think. It's not take it for change yourself. Take it for think yourself. Then you see it's like a very good advice, right? So it's like a long-term benefiting. Then you can follow it. Otherwise, you just leave it, right? So otherwise, we say, okay, not listen to the people who have inflections and ignorance. Then you're 100% rejecting, 100% close your ears. This is not also good idea. You should open it. But final decision, that's the talking here. The final decision, whatever you do deciding in your life to make meaningful, not by the people. You are the main decision maker, right? You are the main decision maker. Therefore, your decisions, the final decisions with what? That's the talking here, right? So the final decision which goes with the Dharma never costs you any, always brings you benefit. That's my belief. So if just your decision, final decisions, just by without any investigate, just listening from people, then you might need to change 100 times in your perspective or your goal, right? So therefore, the always final decisions concluded by investigate man and investment, reflecting, analyzing, right? So therefore you have to open for both the Dharma and worldly, and then more the Dharma is reliable. That's the saying here. This is the giving us advice. And then the one way to say it, if you too much associating with those childish who are like always sees as negative, right? So always sees as negative, then they talk about negative. They were not really good, not really helpful you to develop your all concentration and other practice. Associating with that kind of person, you will hear a lot of negative. Whatever you do, you will hear always negative. It makes you doubt, am I doing good? Because there's something wrong, right? That is not let you encouraging to do complete your practice and all on. So so therefore it's associating with the childish is more obscure to you, and always reminding you not associating means not rejecting through by your compassion. You always hold them in the object of your compassion, but you are physically not associating with them or not having attachment to staying with them, right? This is the point I'm saying. You never, whenever we said here, stay away from someone, that always says, actually it's both mentally and physically, but not with the compassion. Inner compassion should hold all beings equally, but not too much listening them, right? Not too much spend time with them, because this is always negative. So for negative people, whatever your answer, turn into the negative, right? So whatever you advise turn into negative, they are nothing positive because people call it as negative. Their thought is negative. Then they are, what are their good advice then? They are no good advice. Every single advice turn into negative. That kind of people, just leave it alone. Right? Leave it alone. See what can change future. That's the not too much forcefully to do something to change them. Right? That's impossible. Okay. So
Can we ask a question?
okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you might give us like advice on something that is like a real world situation,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe pertains to this teaching. Is that okay?
Yes. Yeah, that's
Okay.
I'm trying.
Okay. So, you know, right now in our country, we have a very serious problem because some people are very willing to listen to the scientists and to the doctors about the danger of the virus. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are other people who, you know, don't believe the science. And it's all very helpful to say, you know, if somebody's very negative, just stay away from them, you know, because they're always going to be negative. It's, you know, just stay away from that kind of people. But the problem in this situation that seems frustrating to me anyway, is that their behavior then makes it dangerous for everybody. So it's a little difficult to exercise a lot of compassion because that behavior or ignorance is now making it very scary for everybody. So can you speak to this a little bit maybe?
Okay. So yeah, that's right now we're talking about the childish, right? What the
Right.
what the samsaric beings nature and what their thoughts should be. So that's what we're talking it. And then as you are mentioning science and doctor, who is listening has a both benefit and faults. Who are not listening, again, has both benefit and faults. You know, they're um, not like depending on science and doctor, sometimes it goes wrong, and too much rely on, well, then this is depend on who we meet the doctor, science and doctor, you know, that's also depend. There are many scientists and good the compassionate doctor and science there, but I cannot say everyone is same like this. That's true. You know, this is not too much the what we call yeah, these are the science and doctor is not the main cause what problem happening with us. The people, public, they are lacking of investigation. This is the main problem, I thought it. And once they see, I'm saying that they have lacking of investment. Yeah, the investigative mind. Yeah, so they are lacking of investigative mind. So this again, this is not their problem, because this is the problem of their ignorance, right? As we are born in samsaric being and always associated with ignorance, the person is nothing to do but their ignorance, their angers, their foolishness. That's the change it. And then this should be more when you see that kind of things, and then we should have more strong compassion, because what is the being who should have a more compassion? The being always like bullying, being always created negative karma, being always have lack of wisdom, these are the special that we have to more compassion. Being who has a lot of having suffer. These beings are, we have stronger compassion than other who are very nice person, right? So we are only generating compassion to nice person. The nice person is actually, they are creating less negative karma. That much they are safe. But the difficulty people, they're creating huge negative karma. They are not really safe. But our compassion toward the more like gentle and nice, not to the difficulty. That goes wrong actually. That goes wrong. We will have to. That's the exactly saying. The how childish will we think? They are thinking that way, and that means they are wrong. No, this is their what call inner affliction minds. Change them, right? So therefore, we should have more strong compassion to people who have more difficulty. Therefore, if you or if our compassion goes with the more easier for gentle people, and then cannot generate compassion for difficulty people, then your compassion is still attachment, which is very biased things, and your
Yes.
compassion is still very strong, as I said, with the self-centeredness. That I want a peace, who is near to me peace, I can easily help them, I can easily compassion them. I want a peace, who disturbing my peace, I cannot compassion to them. That means their compassion is not really compassion. Compassion is very much strong, associated with the self-centeredness. So therefore, yeah, the walls happening it, that what we need to do for that. Then we say, okay, we need to change it. I totally agree. We need to change them, right? But shouldn't forget what is the first step to changing them. It's changing myself, changing yourself. It's the first step to changing them, right?
Oh.
While you are changing myself and yourself, we are peace, and then we have a more ability to change other. We are strong, then we can more help others, right? So as we are very weak, then try to change other, it's very difficult. Without changing other, we always see this again and again. This is samsaric. Therefore, Buddhists said, you should free from samsara. If you're too much annoying, and of course it is the suffering places, it is always suffering. And then as well as you are free from samsara, that's the one doable. And then that's just the many people try to seeking free from samsara because they're too much annoying by many different cause, people or things in place.
Thank you, Geshe.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the exactly said, and then again continues. Each advice I try to say is connected with our daily life, or it's direct connected with our concentration mind and other Buddhist practice, because it talks both, as well as this practice are help you to developing your concentrations. Is this method, this idea are connected with you become a better meditator or better compassionate, then of course all advice help in daily life. If it's not help in daily life, it cannot help in your future goal. It cannot help you to have good quality, right? So therefore, always our practice, the Buddhist practice, is connected to the long-term goal. It means not that it's not help you in the temporarily. Definitely it should help in the temporarily, because if it's not helping in the temporarily, how come it's help you in the long-term goal? But also make it connected with the long-term goal, because we know that encouraged you to go, you have to reach up to there, right? It's not just hanging around in the temporary peaceful. So these are okay. And then next year, 24th, that's actually we should talk to you today, but it's still connected with the earlier. It has been said by the Tathagata that one should not friend or befriend the childish, because unless they get their own way, the childish are never happy, right? They again very much talks about self-centeredness. The most of being in this world, whatever do, whatever say, based on self-centeredness, self-cherishing. This is nothing wrong. Again, this is nature, right? But that nature, changeable nature, is not always nature as a permanent, right? This is nature. Therefore, when you see the people have a strong self-centeredness, shouldn't surprise, shouldn't anger, because that comes from many lifetime habit, included myself, included yourself, all of us, right? So therefore, as well as you have a strong self-centeredness, self-cherishing, then you always looking that what benefit you, anything that you, yes, it's a, because unless they get their own way, the own way means what they wanted and how they do it. So they really want to do their own way. And then they will be really unhappy if we not help them to do their own way, or not bring them some kind of benefit. So and then this is the one natural that like some of business people, or as you said, like all this like what do we have, a hospital, hotel, restaurant, and then shop, mall, all these business things, right? The based on self-centeredness. And then I'm not saying all are lack of compassion. There are many doctors, many business, many the wealthy are there, so who is very compassionate, but the majority is difficult to see is they have compassionate. Therefore, it is too much annoying to us, right? The majority is not like this. Majority is always looking their own benefit. What I can get, everything's turned into the business. Even your meditations turn into the business. Even you are studying Dharma is turning into the business, right? So every single thing is turning into the business, because what I can gain if I do this for you, your compassion is also turning into the business, because I'm helping them, because I try to be compassionate. But the subtle intentions there, what they can help me. Subtle intention they are expecting one day they will help me. When it's not happening, then again, what you will say, that people are not really nice. I help a lot, but they are never respect to me. Why are you saying that? Because you expected to something from them. This is the business, right? So therefore, every single things turn into the business is then again cause of suffering. So therefore, of course, the business people will do their things because they are doing business, and then as well as like the hospital and doctors, science are too much focused on the business, they will have lack of compassion. compassionate doctor, compassionate like a science, not turn everything to business. They think what can benefit to others instead of what I can have return, you know. Um, but still, we still good luck that many compassionate are there, many gentle and nice persons are there. It's not that everyone is the difficulty persons. Still, there are many of them follow their own ethics and morality practice, which is good, which is we are lucky, right? So never know, one day we'll see every single being is lack of morality practice, every single being is difficulty. Then what we do, right? Before you see that, try to attain nirvana. That's the saying. Definitely one day, even we not see in this lifetime, we will see some lifetime. Because getting more worse and worse, that is true. We see that, and then everywhere, even the COVID-19 cannot make us oneness. Actually, COVID-19 should make us oneness, as His Holiness is saying, right? Oneness. We all having same problem now. We all comes together and face to it. We all come together. We all have, humans are same, naturally same. All this we have to remember and recognize. But even having COVID-19, the fighting is never stopped. Bullyings are never stopped. Nothing can stop it, right? So therefore, those are the more object of generate more stronger compassion. These are the object of generate more stronger compassion. Yeah. So therefore, if you are before you meditate, before you go to your own practice, you say, "Let me finish to someone, my relative or someone nears me, to accomplish their own like a goal or help them to establish more." Then never end it. It's never going to end it. Once you finish one thing, then it will becomes another thing to do, because they wish another things now. I have thank you for bringing me wonderful, giving me wonderful shop or wonderful business, but you must help me to run this business. Or I run out the money. I have a lot of money brought from others. You know, I have to repay. Never end it. Never end it. So therefore, it's do not wait until something finish. Right? So again, this is still especially connected with the developing shamatha inside. Inside and shamatha, right? So of course, then you have to, if you're serious doing, then you have to give up and do just shamatha practice. Therefore, it says and then therefore the word childish always say disturbing to your practice, because your compassion or attachment, what you call, that's just started, right? The childish always do not look at the far from you, right? Childish could be just close to you, who is always disturbing. Then you have to find it out the middle way, how to do it. So of course, never let it abandon from your compassion, never abandon from your carry. But the carry means you don't have to do everything for them. But carry means something else. There are another way to carry it. So, okay. So up to here, whatever we described about childish, in general, in our world, we do not see these are the problem. Even we knows, like I say, I can go back with the what call 11, see 11, 12, 13. Even we know this, right? They are angry when something to benefit is said, and they also turn me away from what is beneficial. If I do not listen to what they say, they become angry and they are pursued to lower realms. They are in. So these are, we see this with who I dislike, and this attitude with who I very much like. Same attitude. Has your lover one, same attitude, the animal one. But we strongly seize with our enemy this attitude. But very difficult to seize this attitude as a bad attitude with our lover one. So this is how we deal with our daily life, right? We accept it, even we know this is not, they are not listening. Again, go back to example, the parents and children's, right? The parents knows that children is not listening to them forever, but still never lost their hope, right? But some difficulty people who really dislike it, one time not listening is you 100% abandon it forever. Just one time not listening to you is you are abandoning forever. For your close one is 100 times not listening, even you still keep your hope, right? So same attitude makes us different way to think. But the practitioner, the great practitioners are seeing this attitude is bad as always bad, doesn't matter with whom, always disturbing attitude. This is always bad attitude. But for us, even same attitude with our lover one is different way to see it. It's our enemy, different way to see it. So what is the problem, main problem to having this kind of two different perspective with the one attitude? Because of attachment and anger, right? So, but being honest means what is bad, what is bad. Doesn't matter who have it, you have to see it, right? So, yeah. So, because up to here, so far explaining what is childish, what I try to explain is sometimes we not see these are the childish, sometimes we not see these are the suffering, depending on who had that attitudes are, right? Who have that thoughts and behaviors. So, and then when we not see with our like yeah, so okay, you understand what I'm trying to saying, right? Okay. Shouldn't have a two different perspective with the one attitude. Doesn't matter who has it that. If you losing your hope to your enemy, why are you keeping your hope to your loved one? Because it's the same attitude. If you holding your loved ones, you keep holding the hope with your loved ones, you should hold the hope for other enemies, your enemies and difficult people. It's the same, right? So, because until we are following attachment and angry, then it's happening always. Yeah, you remember I always giving you example, and earlier I said it, how we are beginner getting together, the attachment, at the end how we become a divorce. It's very clearly says in Shantideva text. The way the first time one's giving slaving to you is love. At the end, giving slab you is harming. The slab is sin. Why it's turned into harm one day? Why it's turned into love one day? Because your attachment described it's love. Your anger described it's harm. The slab is same. You have the same painful. So, so this is how we are, and then that as knowing it, then we have to change it. Okay. 24. Okay, now from 25th to I think to 34 or 33, it talks about the benefit of being what called solitary, solitary and isolating. Yeah, that talks about benefit. And so the first one here, when shall I come to dwell in forest? What's it? Dwell. What next?
Amongst.
Okay, amongst the deer, the birds, and the tree, that say nothing unpleasant and are delightful to associate with it. Because we are not strong enough right now to associating with staying in the community and like a social connecting is we do not have a strong enough right now. So therefore, while you're training your mind to either compassion or concentration, try to find a place that which never affected you by emotion. So I mean, like emotionally, find the place that not affected by emotionally, because easily we have that habit strong. Well, again and again that attracted by emotionally, right? Attracted by emotional, yeah, yeah, attracted by emotion most of the time, and easy for us. Even we know we have to follow the reason, but still the first moment immediate comes emotion. So that's we are. So while you're training, then say try to stay the place which not attract you by emotion or not affected. So then living in the forest, until you cut the tree, even you cut the tree will not reply to you, not answer to you. You cut the grass, you dig the mud, no one answering to you. Every single things are willing to help you, accepting it. Once you dig the mud accept it easily, without any like recurse and harsh word. Same as tree and grass and deers and everything, right? So therefore, this is the perfect place that for beginner when you're training it. So, and then after 10 years, after 20 years, where you become a very well trained with this in solitary place, then no problem to come in society, nothing to affect it you. Right? So because you are change all this, your emotions. Therefore it says, amongst the deer, the birds, the tree, they say nothing unpleasant, and nothing the unpleasant. Of course, they are not pleasant, not complimenting us, but at least not criticizing us. And then kind of like a very quiet place. That is a quiet, not just your ear, the mind. everything makes you quiet and more calm, right? So therefore, always mentioning the beginner, if you want to do practice or training, find this kind of place. This is the mentioning it. And then this is the talks about what you will find the instead of childish, what you found the friend. These are the friends who never criticize, who always willing to help you, accepting it, and then kind of you are king in the forest. What? Nothing to say anything. So this is the best friend for beginner, right? Said it. And yeah, I think it continues. Say when dueling in caves, in empty shrines and shrines, and at the feet of trees, never look back. Cultivate what's the detachment? Oh, detachment. Yeah. Okay. You know, in Dharamsala or another places in Tibet, that some caves are very, not just quiet, they're very beautiful. It's high mountain, and look at the down, there sees all these beautiful things. So you know, the Milarepa and many are like a Ansapa, Gilupa practitioner are, they have this separately pleasing to the solitary place and cave, how beautiful it is, how helpful it is, you know. Yeah, so if you could, I don't know if they are translated in English or not, but it's very beautiful. So this is how to describe the friends in solitary place. Okay. Yeah, I think the 26 is it's talking about the place itself, and 27 is how to survive the talks itself. Okay, let me finish it.
This is a spelling error. It should say come, not some.
What's that?
It says a spelling error in the first line. It should say some or come, not some. When I say
Oh, okay. When shall I come to deal?
Yes.
Okay. It's wrong. Some is wrong. Okay, Triple said this is wrong. So when shall I come to deal in places not clung to as mine, which are by nature win and open, and where I may behave as I wish without attachment. Okay. Oh.
When shall I come to dwell in places not mine, wide and open?
Okay, this is where I saw before. Leave it different translated. Okay. In place not clung to me as mine.
It's like renting and not owning. It's not yours, maybe.
Okay, so do you have a different translation on that?
But yes.
What is the different translation?
I
27. Oh, you need to download. Okay. Tibetans say, the things that you're dealing with, like necessary things like a cup, like a plate. What necessary things are just being satisfied with the simple things. It's, you don't need any fancy things. Whatever you can use plate as like your lip, as your lip is you use as like your plate. This is one simple thing as example, you know, and your hand is spoon. There's another simple example. So don't look at the very fancy, like a fork and spoon and knife, everything comes together every morning. You will not want that, right? So that's don't look at that. Being simple with take that what is necessary and satisfy with it what you have it. And then also your clothes should be that you wear that who don't need it. Or sometimes the bhikshu, the fully ordained monks and nuns, what they're wearing clothes is every year the people throwing out, and they wear that. Sometimes they cut everything and put it kind of like a very old things. You know, you can see the monks' clothes are many what called cutting patch. Yeah, many patches. It's a part of that. They cut and put together. It's not. It's part of the detachment, and then also not just self. Other ones not have also attachment on that. So therefore, even your clothes, just be as simple, which people not have attached on that. And then as well as you are satisfying with it, then you are forever free. And says here, even you are the what you have, like so right now we have a ear gold and silver and then money. How much we need to protect? We always need to hide it, some kind of the solid place. 27.
I think in this one it's 28. When shall I dwell in unclaimed and naturally spacious regions, wandering as I please and without a residence? And then the Tibetan says, when shall I dwell, living freely and without attachment, in unclaimed and naturally spacious regions?
I don't know. We're really reading 20. Oh, okay.
Because the previous one is about foot of a tree in an empty temple, or like the Tibetan says, yeah, empty temple, foot of a tree, looking back without attachment.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's my mistake. I'm looking, as I said, 27, right? 27, okay. 25th is describing that the friends in solitary place, and 26 is describing that place itself, 26 and 27. Okay. Okay, now can you go to 28? Sorry. Living without fear. Yeah, this is makes confusion. Oh yeah, okay. So here I will read it. 28. Actually, the being satisfied with the things that I said it earlier. Actually, it's 28. When shall I come to live without fear, having just a begging bowl and a few odd things, wearing clothes not wanted by anyone, and not even having to hide this body. Okay, actually, sorry, that's my mistake. I'm reading different in Tibetan and then reading in English, different in English. Okay, this is the exactly 28, what I try to explain it. When you are in a cave, or when you are like training yourself in either solitary place or wherever you are, and the good places, the being satisfied with the things, that's the saying, as the many practitioner does this earlier, right? Then you know, when Milarepa is in his cave, and then some the thief robbers came to his cave, and then looking everywhere, and then Milarepa smiled and then said, I couldn't find which daytime. How come you can't find in the nighttime? Because he don't have anything in his cave. So then they found nothing, right? So therefore, because he's sitting as a very simple, then as long as he do not have anything, the robbery do nothing, is there no reason to harm to him. So you are totally safe and protected, right? As you are staying, being a more simple. And then this is not, again, I can connect it to our daily life. In our daily life, again, our surviving as with the more simply, then no one sees like no one has a jealousy to you. And then until people do not have any jealousy to you, then why the harms to you, right? So you know, the being simple, that's what I'm saying, not show off too much, or what you have, or you have a habit. Even you have it, you don't have to show off too much, right? So the being simple is the more safer. And then of course, and then being simple as more help you to detachment or less attachment. Okay. Okay, I'm going to stop here because from next 29, as now explain some different meaning. So, okay, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 are explaining that, sorry, 25 to 28, the 4 verses are explaining it's a very benefit to found a solitary place for beginner. Actually, I like to say for always a beginner. Okay. Okay. So, and then we can start question or discussion, and then also your suggestion is also welcome.